The Coyotes have improved from losing 6-2 to losing 6-3. So you can say that's progress,
baby
perhaps.
Steps. It's baby steps.
It's baby steps. And thank you all for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes post-game show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button while you're here watching us live on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill here with Steve Peters, and it wasn't quite the storybook game that we watched last night live at Mullett Arena, which we'll get into a little bit later.
I was going to say, can we go back to Mullett?
That was a little bit more fun. The TD Garden and curse continues, and the Coyotes are still winless. But I will say, there was a moment there where there was, like the other day we said, oh, there was maybe a moment where you kind of felt that they were tied.
They were tied 6 minutes into the third period. Like tied.
With the Bruins. The way this game ended 6-3, I woke up this morning thinking that's probably how it would go. But the way it unfolded went differently than how I thought.
Like if you would have said, what's the score going to be tonight before the game, I would have said, yeah, this. But it's 3-3 with 6 minutes to go. You're going, well, hey now. And I thought, honestly, at that point, momentum had shifted. I didn't think Boston was putting on a big push at that point. So it's really unfortunate that it went that way in the end. But I'm going to rewind and bring it back to the start of the game, because we talked about the start.
Yeah.
And we talked about how important the start was in the last game, and they were horrific, giving up 3 in the first 5 minutes and being down 3-0. So this, and Andre came out and said it in the postgame, how important the start was going to be tonight in Boston. It's got to be a start. We got to be prepared to play. First 5 minutes, 2 penalties, put them down 5 on 3.
5 on 3 for about 30 seconds.
And they're down 1-0 again. Again, it's not the start. This team, no, there's no secrets. This team has to play almost flawless, mistake-free hockey to stay in games. And even then, they might not win, but it'll keep them in games. You can't start off in the penalty box in the first 5 minutes, 5 on 3 against the Boston Bruins powerplay. You just can't do it.
No.
So that's unfortunate. That will be it. I purged out the negativity because we're just going to try to be positive.
I don't think that's going to be the only negativity.
Yeah,
but
probably
yeah, you're right about the start. Once again, it was the same thing, although, Thursday's game, they led in 3 in the first 5. This one they felt a little bit more settled in the first, but still, like you said, you can't give up goals in the first 5 minutes at all.
No, but you know what else they did in the first 5 minutes? Clayton Keller had a scoring chance in the first 5 minutes. And that was like something to come in the game. Like you could say, oh, Keller's here tonight. Where we talked about the last game on Thursday, Kelly, we said, it was his first game. He needed to get it under his belt. So he got that tentative play out of his system. He needed to be better tonight. And he was. Like Keller was noticeable. You noticed Clayton Keller tonight where I don't think you did on Thursday. No. And it started in the first 5 minutes where he gets a shot on goal and a scoring chance early on a rush. And you go, okay, Clayton Keller's coming back. You'd still like to see him with Schmaltz. It's unfortunate that Schmaltz is out of the lineup. But you did take that as another bright spot today that Keller took a step forward again. And, he gets a power play goal later in the game, but he took a step forward today. I think that was big for this team with 4 more games left on this road trip.
And This is the smaller road trip of the 2, which is crazy. But yeah, just continuing on about Clayton Keller. Not only did he have that scoring chance early, he was more noticeable in this game, but it felt like the Coyotes were on the power play almost the entire second period. It was unreal. And that's great. That's why the second period, I think, went as well as it did. And it's not easy to have a successful power play against any team, let alone a team like Boston. But for Keller to get a power play goal, he was active on the power play. Like when he scored, I felt like he's due, and he was, and he got it in. And then we noticed a little bit later that he and Gostisbehere switched, and it felt really unnatural.
And I know it's just one of those little things, but you look at the power play and you think if you're staring at the Boston Bruin goalie on the right circle, that's where Clayton Keller scores his goal. He's a left-hand shot, means it sticks towards the middle of the ice, so when he gets a pass, he can shoot quickly. Later in the power play, he was on the left circle, so now it sticks on the board side, and he can't shoot. And Gostisbehere was on his shooting position. I don't know if it was intentional, if they just ended up that way. Ideally, you go back to when you had Kessel on the his offhand and Keller on his offhand. You can shoot from the middle of the ice. That's ideal. To have 2 left-handed shots, somebody's going to be with their stick to the outside, which made it a little tougher. But on that power play, we talked about it with Richie the first night, Keller tonight, and I thought the key to that was the ability of the puck movement by Michelli. I thought he moved the puck extremely well
Another
on
good
the power
night from
play.
him.
I thought he looked good again tonight. And if we're developing players in this organization, that's a guy that's moving along the way he should be. You go, oh, you noticed him again. There's little things that you noticed. Yeah, Michelli's a player. Michelli's got some skill. He can distribute the puck well. He's got an offensive upside, and he's just a kid. So, again, find the positives. Keller was a positive. Michelli was a positive on the power play. Great. So that's two things from the first period that I think we can look at and go, okay, that was okay. It's unfortunate they're behind at the end of the first period because we talked about if you saw Leah's tweet, four
penalty minutes, 3 shots on goal, 2 goals against, 1 period, 0 goals for.
Yeah.
And a partridge in a pear tree. A couple comments.
That's really good.
Thank you. I have a really good singing voice. Not. A couple comments just while we're staying on the positive train. Steven said, boys look great tonight. Scoreline doesn't reflect the pace of the game, which I think is a valid point.
I agree.
And then JMT said, is it me or does Hayton look more confident when he has the puck?
See, I thought Hayton was better in game 1 than he was tonight.
He was more noticeable to me in game 1.
One of the things tonight.
I don't think he looked bad tonight.
No, he wasn't bad. And he didn't make big mistakes. But a couple of times he's out there with Michelli and Guenther and Hayton. Well, that's a very young line. And I think that you're going against a Boston Bruins team that has more experienced veteran players. I think it was noticeable that they were boys against men a few shifts. I love Barrett Hayton's game this year. I just didn't think he was as noticeable today as he was previously.
They switched up all the lines tonight. It was completely different. It's hard to go from one game to the next on different lines. And just injuries and all
what
that
happens
causes
now?
A shuffle.
Because Schmaltz isn't going to. I don't know if Schmaltz is playing.
We'll talk to Craig.
Yeah, I don't know if he is going to. But I would anticipate. Shuffling the lines again. I don't think they're set in stone. It does take time to get that where it's, that's the line.
Yeah.
I like those guys that they fit really well together. I don't know if we've seen that yet where any line is really clicking and like, oh, they have to stay together. They're clicking offensively on the power play. So that's working. But 5-on-5, they're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I still think they need to find their mix and what they're going to do. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the next game against Toronto that they mix the lines up again.
And maybe it'll be the magic mix that gets them the dub against the Leafs.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep beating that drum until it happens.
Getting it out in the universe. I appreciate it.
We'll see. Well, let's take a look at tonight by the numbers for our overarching view of tonight's game. Obviously, the 6-3 final. It's crazy because in the first period, the Coyotes were outshot 12-4. And then they came back that second period again. Again, they were on the power play. It felt like a majority of the period, but they outshot Boston 14-6 in that period. Which it's funny, if you were with us last season, the Coyotes always had their collapse. We called it the second period collapse.
Yep.
We've been seeing this game and last game the second period revival, so maybe that'll be the theme. But then of course Boston came back and outshot them in the third, for a final of 43-24 in favor of Boston. We talked about the power play already, 1 for 3. Boston was also 1 for 3. Face off, pretty even, 45 Arizona, 55 Boston. And then hits. This was a physical game in the first 9 seconds. 29 hits for the Coyotes, 28 for Boston.
Yeah, I think a couple things jump out at me here. Keeping Boston 1 for 3 on this power play and concluding that 5-on-3, and really the one goal. It's after the first 5-on-3 expired, or the first penalty on the 5-on-3 expired, so it was 5-on-4. Oh, good gosh. Really? Leah's got a drinking problem. So, on audio, there's pumpkin porter all over. Anyway, so I'll keep working. No, you go ahead. Whatever you need to do.
No, you keep talking.
No, you go ahead. But,
no, I can't do anything.
So the power play, keeping Boston off the scoreboard on the next 2 power plays, I think was outstanding. Shots on goal. The Coyotes are going to have to learn how to limit those shots on goal. This is 2 games where you're over 50 last game. You're over 40 this game. They can't continue at this pace, especially, and people aren't going to like when I'm saying this, especially when Vejmelka's playing like this.
Yeah.
If he's not lights out, you can't give up more than 40 shots. And I know there's a lot of people that really like the way Veggie plays, and there are nights we've seen him be outstanding. It just hasn't been yet this season.
Yeah, no, not yet this season. And you can't average 5 goals against a game.
Yeah,
He let in 5. We're all
6 and 5, so 5.5.
Okay, so 5.5. That's like,
yeah, you can't be 5.5.
And listen, like, no, we say this all the time. This team isn't there to win per se. They're not expecting Vejmelka to be a Vezina candidate, but the thing that's going to get us through these next 80 games is watching close competitive games, and your goaltender has to play a huge role in that, and they need to be tight competitive games. So you can't be letting in 5 goals, because the Coyotes frankly don't have enough offense. Like, it'd be one thing if, Vejmelka's letting in 5, but the Coyotes have an explosive offense that's scoring 6 and 7 a night. The Coyotes don't have that. Yeah. So Vejmelka has to be better.
Yeah, and we talked about with Colorado last year. If you're the Colorado Avalanche, you can win 7-6. You can win 6-5. The Arizona Coyotes, and I'll mark this again, they're not going to win 6-5. They just don't have that ability. This is a team that, if they're going to win, is going to be 2-1. And when this game was 3-3, tied in the third period, you needed to have that save. I think that you don't want to say that is the difference of the game. He needs to make that save.
Yep.
And the last 2 goals, 4 and 5, are clean. I think he's got to have them. So it's disappointing because he does make big saves. He's got over 50 in the first game, over 40 in this game, but it ends up being a big deal that he doesn't get that extra save in the third period. I want to make it clear, I'm not faulting Karel Vejmelka saying, hey, this is lost on him.
Well, he's put in a bad situation.
But he could, yeah, absolutely. And this, again, if this team doesn't get in the penalty box and they maintain offensive zone puck time more and they don't give up 45 shots, then he's not in that position. And so it's on the whole team. Goals against is a team stat. It's not a goalie stat. It's a team stat. The team needs to defend better. They need to turn over the puck less. From the top of the circle to the red line, they turned the puck over, must have been 20 times tonight. And that caused a couple of goals. When you're trying to come out of your zone, you need to make the easy play. And if you can't make the easy play, bang it off the glass. And I think that's one of the things as this season continues, I'm going to start harping on that. You know what? You can't always make a tape-to-tape pass. Get it off the glass, get it out of your zone, live another day, and we'll try to defend again. I think the turnovers is an issue tonight, more so tonight than it was in game 1. So I thought turnovers is a big problem. And again, they're going to have to find a way to stay out of that box, because tonight, being down that 5-on-3 in the first 5 minutes changes the tone of the game. If they could just settle into the game for 10 minutes, maybe they can get a different outcome. Having said all of those things, it was 3-3 in the third period. We're pretty happy with that, sitting here watching on TV. We're pretty happy with 3-3 in the third.
Yep. Well, now it's time for our favorite segment. Sean, roll the clip. Hello, Craig.
Craig's calls.
Craig, and he's not in a basement.
Oh, look at this.
I am illegally in a suite, actually.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Too bad.
All the doors were closed and locked. I had to climb over glass to get in here.
You did not.
There's like 70 beer cans in this particular suite, so somebody
Craig's
had a good time.
Gonna get arrested live on our show.
Wow.
It'd be... What's worse, that or me spilling pumpkin porter on myself?
We had a pumpkin porter incident early in the show.
The pumpkin porter incident that was made way worse by you allowing yourself to get smacked in the face by a roll of paper towels.
The paper towel.
You could have walked them up to her and gently placed them, but no. You threw them
was of the essence.
I just felt like we needed to address that because the chat was not letting it go. So
yeah,
anyway,
but it's true.
Sorry.
You got hit in the face with the paper towels after spilling the pumpkin porter. There, you're caught up on what's going on here, Craig.
That's what you missed.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Is there a clip of this? Is there a clip of this pumpkin porter?
There will
incident?
be.
Am I going to see this?
You will see this. It was on air.
Excellent.
What did you find out after the game, Craig? We've just had a few minutes to start going over what we thought, some of the keys to the game and the numbers were. But what are you hearing in Boston after the game?
Well, I mean, they like the fact that they battled back, right? Even though they were down early in this game, Andre Tourigny liked their start a little better. He thought they were more competitive. But, I heard it just as I was coming in, I heard you mention, Petey, that they're in the box. And I tweeted that. It's like they talked about their starts. They talked about being more disciplined. And they're down 5-on-3, like 2.5 minutes into the game. It does set a tone. Even if you don't give up that second goal right away, it changes things. It messes up your lines. It gives another team momentum. And my God, I felt like Boston played 18 of the 20 minutes of that first period in the Coyotes zone. I almost wonder if Boston took the foot off the pedal a little bit because they thought it was going to be so easy after that first period. But, give the Coyotes credit for battling back. I like some of the things I'm seeing with their special teams. Their power play is really moving the puck around well. Some of their personnel on that unit are really doing good jobs. Matias Michelli is jumping out for me in these two games.
Yep.
And I'm interested in their PK as well. It's been aggressive. Obviously, Gostisbehere said he got like the first shorthanded goal he can remember since he was like 7 years old tonight.
Wow.
But they're right in the game. It's 3-3, and then you need your goalie to make a save.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of there were so many things, Craig, and I know this is what we expected from this team. The physicality was there tonight. I thought they competed with this Boston Bruins team, who's a physical team too. And I thought Arizona competed with them physically. I think the special teams were evenly matched. 5-on-5 play. Boston probably had the edge, but it comes back to what you said. It's the goaltending. And I know when you're giving up 43 shots, you can't go, oh, the goalie was awful. But he needed to make those saves. And that does change the outcome of this game. So we have to, again, Craig, we find the positive. I agree with you on Michelli and his puck handling. What did you think of the other youngster tonight, Dylan Guenther, in his first NHL game?
Well, I didn't think the moment was too big for him. And Andre said this after the game. He's not one of these guys who's jumping all over the place, really emotional. He's a pretty composed guy, and I thought we saw that on the ice. Look, I'm not going to come here and say that Dylan Guenther is ready to be a star in the NHL. We've talked about this. I still don't think he's ready for this step yet. I think he's just going to get some time, and I got to believe he's going to head back unless, of course, they keep getting injuries, and then maybe he'll have to stay here. But it wasn't too big for him. He had a couple chances tonight. They were good chances. The puck on the breakaway was just hopping on him a little bit, but I thought he still got off a good attempt, and Swayman made a good save. But again, he was doing a lot of good things. He was in good body position. I thought he was decent away from the puck as well. So the game did not look too big for Dylan Guenther tonight.
And I talk about it when you see a guy in his first NHL game or a young player playing, there's a couple things you want to look at. And most importantly, you don't want to see that big mistake where he causes something to happen in the defensive zone. And he did not do that. So he didn't stand out in the defensive zone. And believe me, that's where you can cause a lot of problems. For a young guy that's not used to assignments and the speed of the game, he did not look out of place or make any big mistakes in the defensive zone. In the second period, he has a shot from the top of the circle. Good shot.
Yeah.
Difference in the Western League, that shot might go in. The National League, you're going to need some screens, tips. You're going to need a little help. I know he's got a great shot, but he's not going to score in the same way he does in the Western League. It's going to take him some time. The breakaway, I honestly thought that was his moment.
Oh my God,
After watching
we
Josh
were all
Doan,
holding our breath.
I thought he had it, and we watched it on slow motion from the lower of the ice. He's going 5-hole, and he doesn't miss by much. The kid's a goal scorer. He's going to be an NHL player. His development path is right on track. I agree with you, Craig. I think he needs to go back to junior and keep developing, be an all-star, take this team back to the Memorial Cup and do great things down there for another year.
Yeah, but again, it's nice to see that he wasn't overmatched tonight. Like earlier in the preseason, I just thought he looked out of place, but he's growing into it. He's already learning some things with his time here. And you mentioned this, Petey, but he said, like when he got stopped on the breakaway, he's got stopped on that other shot. He said, the goalies are just better here. I'm going to have to adjust to that. I'm going to have to figure some things out. So he knows it already. He's processing it. He understands that's the situation.
Yeah, obviously Guenther got to play tonight because Schmaltz is out. Is there any update on Schmaltz's status? And we learned, in the middle of the game that Connor Timmins left with an upper body injury and won't return. Do you have any updates on either of those injuries?
I unfortunately do not. I don't even know when Connor Timmins got hurt. Maybe you guys saw it. We were trying to
figure out
what
what we went
happened.
back to try to find him, Craig, and we didn't.
Yeah. So Andre didn't have any information, and I'm trying to track down what's going on with Nick Schmaltz, but there's some Coyotes officials here tonight, so they were busy powwowing with each other, so I didn't get a chance to ask anyone. But I'll try and follow up on Nick Schmaltz. Obviously, that's a big deal to have him out of the lineup because it's completely juggled their lines that they had planned to roll out. They only got to do it for less than a period.
Craig, you're there with them, embedded with this team. Is there, with him out of the lineup and Spicy Dill in the lineup, is there an extra forward on this trip, or is this it?
This is it.
Yeah. So at some point,
they may bring someone. Yeah, they may.
You're crossing the border into Canada, right? You're going into Canada.
to Toronto.
So to me, if Schmaltz isn't ready to go, they've got to get another body on the way. They have to if you're going into Canada. That's just, but I work here, not
Toronto,
there.
Montreal, Ottawa. So this whole upcoming week is in Canada.
Yeah, so I would think that if tomorrow morning's practice and Schmaltz isn't close, that you'd start to see a body moving from Tucson.
Yeah, you got to believe they bring it in. And also, as I reported after the first game, I think Jacob Chychrun's going to join them in Canada on this trip. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, he's not ready to play yet, but I think he's going to start practicing. You guys reacted to that one.
I know. It's my surprise face. Yeah.
Sorry that you reported it. I didn't know. I felt bad.
No, he did. We talked. He said that he might, but even if he comes, he's just coming for more rehab and more skating and more. I don't think he's ready to jump in the.
Well, good to be with the team.
Oh yeah, he absolutely needs to be with the team. It's progression.
Yeah, and he has been cleared to shoot now, so that's a big step, right?
Yeah.
Because with the wrist, when you think about the pressure, the strain that you put on a wrist when you're shooting, because it's his left hand, and that's the one that takes all the impact on the shot. So the fact that he's been cleared, it sounds like he's cleared to do everything now. Now it's just a matter of, working himself into game shape. I don't know when he'll play at this point. Yeah. But as I reported in that story that neither one of you read,
I just said I did.
I didn't read it.
I did. You were busy. You're busy.
It's been a busy 24 hours.
It's call it coincidence, but two of the teams that they're visiting this week in Canada are two teams that have been widely reported to have interest in Jacob Chychrun in the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators. So take of that what you will.
Yeah, and so you know what? Maybe again, if he joins this team on this trip, and depending on where the injury bug hits, if he's physically cleared to play, never know.
Connor Timmins is out now.
Never say never. And Connor Timmins, I guess we'll wait and see. Like this could be just he might be ready for practice tomorrow. We don't know. Right. If it's something more than that, that's unfortunate for that kid.
Yeah, I saw AJ on Twitter who covers the Avs for DNVR quote tweeted Craig saying it just, it's so disappointing. And I just think we're so jaded because he was out that whole season, almost last season. He's been out with Colorado. So I just hope that this is something minor because we've barely gotten to see Connor Timmins, and he's that piece. He's that prospect, that future asset that we haven't really even gotten a chance to see yet. So I want to see more of him. I hope this isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, and we talk about
just needs to play games.
Yeah,
we talked about the positives. Craig, I thought Keller took a step forward today. I thought he skated better. I thought he controlled the puck better. He was noticeable. Clearly, he gets the goal on the power play, but you noticed Clayton Keller tonight. So just 2 games in, I think he's starting to shake. He had the post in the first. He had the goal on the power play. I think I don't want to say he's back yet and he's Clayton Keller again, but you can see it's coming.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, he jumped tonight. He had some chances. He looked like his old self after just one game. And, it's interesting. They gave him a maintenance day yesterday. He didn't practice in Boston. And I think that's smart, right? When you're coming back from that sort of injury, they just want to be careful. And he looked like he had some jump to his step tonight. The other 2 guys, and I know they're getting on the score sheet, so it's easy to say this, but I mean, Shayne Gostisbehere and Nick Ritchie are doing some good things. Nick Ritchie's really playing effectively on the power play, and it's not just that he's scored 2 goals already. I'm watching him when he doesn't have the puck. Puck retrievals, as you know, Petey, are a crucial part of a power play, and he is working his ass off to get pucks back. There was a play where I thought it was going out of the zone, and he drilled someone along the boards and just took the puck away and fed the point. Plays like that keep a power play going, give you more chances, and give you momentum.
He was another guy that I had as a positive for tonight because I know he wasn't on this. He didn't get a goal tonight, but he was around it on the power play. He had 2 chances in that second period again. He's around the net, and it's funny because he was interviewed on Bally's, and we saw it on TV here. I think he's another guy that seems to be happy here and that he fits in here, and I think that's helped him be able to do the things that he can do here. And I don't know if he was a good fit in the other teams that he's been at, and you just wait for him to break out. I think he's been a good fit here in Arizona, and I tell you what, if it's late in the game and I need a goal, Nick Ritchie's on the ice. Because he makes things happen, and as you said, can recover pucks. He's physical and strong enough to separate guys from the puck. So I've been really pleased with what I've seen out of him. He picked up right where he left off last year, 2 games in. So that's another positive. And we keep saying it, find the positives, and I think that's another one.
Yep. I don't know if you want to count this as a positive because I don't know people's stance, but like just to see the physicality in this game. And I totally forgot this happened. But Liam O'Brien, dropping the gloves. I know people have their opinions about fighting, but, to see that the passion and energy, and he's trying to get the team going. And that happened at the beginning of the second period. And then what happened in the second period, they had their best period of the game. So it's good to see the buy-in from the team, even though, it's been a bit of a struggle out the gate here. That was another moment tonight that stood out to me.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to see. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that that's part of the way this team's built. Like it's the physicality. I'm not just fighting, but we talked about Richie and his ability to separate guys from the puck, and the physicality in Kassian. I mean, Kassian maybe gave a little stinky glove to somebody in the face in front of the net too. It didn't get called, but there's some toughness in this team, and I think that makes a difference. They didn't get pushed around, and this Boston Bruins team's a tough team too. You didn't notice them pushing Keller and Guenther around. I think it's a big difference in this team versus what we've seen the last few years here in Arizona.
So with the goaltending situation the way that it is, and I didn't, Karel Vejmelka is going to make some good saves in the game because he's going to face a lot of rubber, right? And I thought it was the same thing with the last game where he settled in after maybe a little bit of a shaky start. But I thought there were a couple goals where you could say, maybe you should have that one back. When you're looking at this goaltending situation and you're looking at the work that these guys are getting, and it's not just the shots, it's the shot attempts, it's the amount of times that you have to go down, it's the amount of zone time that you have to deal with, and it felt like the entire first period was in their zone. How long do you wait before you give Connor Ingram a shot?
You're asking Petey?
Oh, yeah, well, he's a coach.
But Petey, that was more a joke because Petey's really bad at guessing.
Nobody.
That was what that was about. That was what that was about.
They're going into Toronto on Monday. Connor Ingram has 3 NHL games in the regular season under his belt. I don't play him in Toronto. If it's me,
maybe Montreal.
He will play. If again, I sit here behind a microphone, it's really easy. If I'm in that room, I'm pushing for him to play in Montreal or Ottawa. He has to have one of those two for me. I think with the experience of Vejmelka, and you're saying he's an experienced guy and he's under 60 games in the league too, so you're not saying he's George Vezina either. I think he has to play in Toronto. I think it's a high pressure situation in a full building against an unbelievable offensively gifted team. I think Vejmelka has to go again, even though he's given up a few in both games that I think he'd like to have back. I think Vejmelka goes there. Now, Craig, there is an opportunity here in Toronto if it goes off the rails early that you can get Ingram in to get a few shots so then he can start the next game or start in Ottawa. I believe he starts in one of the two. Okay. But I would throw Vejmelka back into Toronto.
Speaking of Ottawa, how are the Ottawa Senators doing? That much hyped Canadian team.
They lost 3-2 to Toronto tonight. Montreal also lost tonight 3-1 to Washington. By the way, Vejmelka's faced 96 shots in the last 2 games total. So.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Over 2 games.
That's what I'm talking about. And then look at the shot attempts and, like I said, the zone time. I mean, where you have to be dialed in.
I know.
It's going to be exhausting for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we talked about that. They got to get their shots on goal down. And that starts with a few things. That starts on making better passes out of the zone. Stop turning the puck over and defending the net front better. Once they do those things, and funny enough, a good offense is a good defense. If they have the puck better and more often in the offensive zone below the blue line, you're not giving up shots. They have to find a way to limit shot attempts. They have to. You can't give up this amount of shots every night against teams that are playing in the National Hockey League. You do this to Matthews and Marner on Monday night and give them 75, 80 shot attempts, good luck.
Yeah.
Like night.
Brian said with Toronto over under in shots 75.
I mean, unless the E-Bug's playing, then there's a chance the E-Bug plays in Toronto.
Yeah, goaltender woes in Toronto, but that's fun.
Yeah, they do. All right, I have 2 questions for you guys, and then I'm going to go out.
Okay.
I'm going to go out in Boston here with my buddy.
Yeah, leave us to finish the show. You go drinking.
I haven't had a chance to ask you guys what you thought of the Mullett experience. I was not there, and I was very jealous of you guys.
You weren't there?
Wow.
Did you miss
I was following along online at like midnight and 1 a.m.
Did you literally miss a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for an opening of a brand new building in Arizona, Craig? That's too bad.
Because I wanted to see the Coyotes give up 6 goals.
But Craig went to the Oyster Bar in Boston.
That's a close.
I did.
A close second.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely going to get into this in more detail, but it was absolutely electric. That's what everybody in our group just kept saying. electric is the best way to describe the atmosphere.
That's how Frank.
Craig, I got to tell you this.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of college buildings, a lot of pro buildings. First of all, college and pro, they're different atmospheres, they're different vibes.
Yeah.
This was a college vibe with a college band, the student section on their feet for 60 minutes. It was a hockey's who's who of Arizona hockey people. If you know anybody from around the rinks in Arizona, they were there. Either they worked at them, or you know them, or they played in one. They were at the game. It was really, really. I can't even find it was cool. Thrilled that I was there. The atmosphere is absolutely, when they say electric, you get chills when you're watching that game.
Like electric in the sense that you feel it in the air.
It is. I can't wait to go to another college game in the mall. Can't wait.
Yeah.
That student section makes the difference. It is so loud. And you and I have both been to games in Oceanside. You can't hear the crowd. You can't see the ice. And
that's something Greg Powers said last night too. At Oceanside, the glass blocks the noise, but here it was coming down onto them.
Craig, I am sincerely, I'm excited for you to see a college game there. I know the NHL's coming and you'll be there in 2 weeks at that game, but I'm excited for you to experience that. And one moment that you would have enjoyed, and I know I don't want to get off the rails too far, is during the national anthem. As the lights dimmed, I looked down on the ASU bench and I just looked at Greg Powers watching the national anthem in that building. And I just tried to put myself in his shoes of what he's gone through, from a player to a coach and club to this moment, and what must have been racing through his mind right then. Like it was really something to behold. And I feel I'm so proud of what he's done for that program. And he is I tell you what an amazing guy. I've got a new respect for him after listening to Kirsten Susell's piece on him. Amazing. It's a great story. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. Selling in the program. But Craig, can't wait for you to taste a little bit of that. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to get out to the CC series this next weekend. So that's why I'm coming home, guys. I'm not staying on this trip.
You said I've had enough. 12
there's
goals
guys
against,
on the team that want to come home right
12
now.
goals against, 96 shots against.
Guys calling uncle.
Yeah, beyond that, Leah and I both had enough of Montreal for a while, so we're not going there.
It's cursed to travel there. Did you know?
I did know that.
Yeah, feels like it. The other question, by the way, Dylan Guenther's parents flew through Montreal. They had delays. So
of course.
Just saying. The other question before I go, Petey.
No.
How did you come up with that dance?
I still, Craig.
Everyone at Four Peaks yesterday was the hot topic.
It's been 6 months that I've said no, and I kept saying I'll do it then. And Leah, with 2 minutes left in the show, said, "Well, he's not going to do it." And I said, "You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. Minnesota Viking fan, you've seen the touchdown dance, Jefferson in the end zone, a little gritty, and that's how it happened. And so now I've checked it off the list. I'm done. I don't have to do it again. Although there may be more dancing to come. I'll just leave it at that.
I'm saying, 6 months. It feels like you owe us a little bit of interest on that debt. So maybe.
I like that.
There may be some things that were discussed at Four Peaks at the watch yesterday. So we got some plans in the work.
All right, guys. I will see you back in the Valley in a few days.
Travel safe, Craig.
Enjoy Boston.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, we mentioned Dylan Guenther and his debut. We mentioned his breakaway. Have we even mentioned that he got a point in tonight's game?
First assist in the National Hockey League in his first game.
In his first game. Not every player can say that they earned a point in their first NHL game, and that is why Dylan Guenther is tonight's DraftKings King of the Game, and hopefully this is the first of many crowns placed upon Dylan Guenther's head. We've said it. We're not necessarily expecting him to be here past the 9-game trial. I know there's some debate in the chat about that. Either way, he's a part of this future, and he started tonight with his first career NHL point. Dylan Guenther, our DraftKings King of the Game.
Good for Spicy Dill. Are we on Spicy Dill? We're going Gunner. Or we just they plug and play, or they mix and match?
Mix and match.
Okay.
But the chat can chime in. Let me know. By the way, your sides are being counted. I see 7
Spencer
right now. Spencer's counting. So I
did have a couple good ones during the game too. I do it. I swear I don't even notice I'm doing it.
Spicy King Dill, says Charles. Love that.
CWP. I missed CWP yesterday.
I don't know, but he said he's going to hopefully get out to some games at the Mullett. Steven said, "Can we get some 4 Peaks shipped to Virginia?"
Oh, Steven,
I don't know.
It's money. We both got our 4 peaks going right now.
I don't know if you can ship.
We have half years left.
I didn't spill that much. I promise. And Charles also said, I screamed in my apartment when Petey danced. So epic. That was all people were talking about yesterday at 4 Peaks, I will say.
How about the fight? Can we talk more about the fight? I wish we could have seen the fight.
Can we
they
talk
didn't
more
actually
about
fight.
Dylan Guenther being...
I'll just stop. That was it. I just want to say that. I saw it on my notes. Fight.
Okay.
Wasn't really a fight.
Okay.
That's it.
Anywho, Dylan Guenther is our DraftKings king of the game. I just pulled up. Oh my God, the baseball game finally ended after 18 innings.
Oh no.
Houston won 1-0 against Seattle after 18 innings, aka 2 back-to-back baseball games. So people who had money on that game were sweating for hours and hours and hours and hours. And Petey won a lot of money today.
I had a really good
DraftKings.
I have money. I was fired.
We were money literally.
I was 5 for 5 in college football today.
Unreal.
Yep.
Unreal. And it's that time of the week where we're going to throw it to a DraftKings pick of the week.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not putting Petey on the spot because his hot streak is probably ending today. I don't know. How are your hockey bets doing?
Not as good.
Okay. So we're not going to trust Petey, but we're going to trust Sean because he's usually pretty hot with his picks. So Sean, what do you got for your DraftKings pick of the week?
All right, this one might be a big surprise to a lot of you, but the Buffalo Bills play tomorrow. They play the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. I'm still taking the Bills -3 at +105. Jordan Poyer, Tremaine Edmonds, Dawson Knox all playing yet again. That probably means nothing to a lot of you, but it's a good thing for the Bills. They're the best team in the NFL, and I'm gonna say they're gonna blow out the Chiefs, but I think they'll win by more than 3. So Buffalo Bills -3 at +105 is my DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week.
Why are you making that face, Petey?
It's Bills and Chiefs?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess it's something we haven't really talked about that I'm surprised we haven't really acknowledged
Are
it.
you a Kansas City fan?
My wife is.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that'll be a thing at our house. And
Okay,
now I know
well-
it's going to be this game, so great.
Okay, well, that's Sean's DraftKings pick of the week. If you want to go Team Sean or Team
Chiefs, Mahomes.
Team Petey, you can do so on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you haven't signed up yet, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. And if that's not enough, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Right now, for every leg you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100%. And with payouts bigger than ever, why bet on football anywhere else? To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped up same game parlays once per game day all season long. It's simple. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the promo code PHNX. That's code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. I promise I did not spill as much 4 Peaks as it seemed that I did. I'm drinking pumpkin porter.
Yep, I'm Kilt Lifter.
Here, Kilt Lifter. We had an amazing time at 4 Peaks yesterday. I've already seen some comments in the chat for people who were there. It was so great to talk to everybody. And it was really cool because the tickets went on sale just to our members. So everyone who was there was a member because they got all the tickets before they could go to everybody else. And it was cool because, everybody's in our members only Discord. So, a lot of people I'd met before, some people I never had. It was cool to put, usernames with faces. It was a blast. It was so cool and so special to be at Mullett Arena for the first men's game. The official ribbon cutting. It was really special, and it was really special to start out the day at 4 Peaks. I know everybody enjoyed some brews before the game, some tacos. What were you drinking? I saw you always with a beer in your hand. Yeah,
I was Kilt Lifter.
Kilt Lifter always. Yeah.
You're
You're true to your brand.
I am.
And I know there were limited tickets for that event, but we have tons of events in the works with our friends at 4 Peaks, so stay tuned for more information. If you're going to drink, you must be 21 or older and enjoy responsibly, but you don't have to be 21 to come out to our events, and we'll be there again on the last Wednesday of the month for Last Wednesdays.
Yeah, and is that coming? No, not yet. Not yet.
I don't even know what day that is. I don't even know what day it is today.
28th,
okay.
I believe.
All right, well, let's finish up our thoughts on the game because then we have a couple other topics we want to get to. We haven't talked about the fact that Brown scored his first goal as a Coyote.
Yep.
And I saw a comment earlier, and it's so far back, I can't even find it. But somebody said, did it seem like Brown was a little bit more engaged?
For sure, it's his old team.
Yeah, because it's
his old players,
team,
and he was a little... You know what? When you play with against your old team, you don't have to be nice to guys you didn't like anymore. And hard to believe when you're in a locker room with 23 guys, there's guys in there you don't like. You don't say it publicly. You always say, hey, we're all buddies. But there's guys in there I'm sure he didn't like. And I tell you what, between whistles and at the end of plays, you saw him pushing guys around, and there were words several times tonight from Josh Brown. So I think that was a little, I'm sure he was thrilled that he got that goal, that it was, that it was a little extra special. And he had a little more jam tonight. I thought he was a little more physical tonight, a little more engaged tonight. Really happy for him that he was able to do that back in Boston.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then that goal was assisted by your boy, Bukestad.
Yeah, Bukestad finally.
And Guenther, that was the goal.
So, here's the mistake I didn't make this year. Like last year, I got on the King Louis train to lead this team offensively. And I know I talk about Nick Bukestad, the Minnesota boy, all the time. And I did not make the mistake of saying he was going to lead the team in goals this year. Even though I really, really wanted to, I did not. But he got a point.
He did get a point, which was exciting for you.
Yeah, it's great.
I know you
great.
love him.
Keep the Minnesota kids. Love it.
We touched on it with Craig, but that shorthanded goal by Shayne Gostisbehere, unreal. Like Craig mentioned, first of all, the first in his NHL career, let alone Craig said the first he can remember since he was like a child. But I saw a comment in the Discord earlier, like, what's the assignment? Raise your draft stock. And Shayne Gostisbehere is continuously
trade stock.
What did I say? Draft stock?
You said draft, yeah, but that's okay. We're all thinking draft.
Yeah, it's HK till draft day.
HK to draft day.
HK
TDD.
TD? Okay.
TDD, yeah.
TDD. Clearly my brain is not firing. I did not sleep a lot last night.
And by the way, before we continue, the reason Leah is a little tired today is she wrote an article.
I did.
And if I am saying this sincerely, if you haven't read Leah's article on gophnx.com, and you want to know what Mullett was like, her article puts you back in the scene, puts you back in the seats. Absolutely phenomenal. She did a great job. It was a great article. I really enjoyed reading it today.
I appreciate that.
See, I didn't read Craig's, but I read yours.
No, I was like, when Craig was like, I said this. It's like, and it's so funny because I actually read Craig's story on Christian Fisher this morning. So it's not like I wasn't
read them all.
Reading his stories on the website. But thank you. Yeah,
it was really good.
If you haven't had the chance to read it, if you want to know more about the atmosphere from Mullett, it's on gophnx.com. And I believe it is unlocked, so anyone can read.
I don't even know how you do that. Like, you guys always talk about that behind. I don't know. It's up. It's YouTubed. It's streamed.
It's YouTubed.
It's out there.
Oh man. Well,
sorry.
Back to this game. We talked about Clayton Keller already and Michelli, but the other assist on the Keller goal was Travis Boyd, who played in his 200th game tonight.
Yeah, it was a nice assist on the power play. Again, the power play clicked. I think the 5-on-5 chemistry we saw with him and Schmaltz, unfortunately, we only saw 2 minutes of it, so we don't know if it's there again. I'd have to think, and I said it already today, I think the lines will get shuffled again. I think they'll have to find a way to generate more 5-on-5 offense. I like Travis Boyd on the power play. I think they need to make a change 5-on-5 to get Clayton, somebody else get him the puck.
I was going to say, maybe at one point with all the line shuffling, we'll actually be right about our original lines that we did, but they released Chase on, so it's impossible.
Yeah, I know. Who knew? But maybe we talked about this too. Maybe it's time Barrett Hayton gets to play with Clayton Keller.
Sure.
Because I think with Schmaltz, Boyd, and Keller, there was a little bit of chemistry that they were able to hopefully carry over. But without Schmaltz, I don't know if I feel the same right now with Krause, Boyd, Keller. I'd like to see Barrett Hayton get a chance. We'll see.
Sean?
No, I was just going to say that it's funny because you mentioned it being Boyd's 200th game, and I feel like at a certain point in the season last year, that's how our king started getting decided. It's just someone hit a milestone, they get king.
We're not there yet.
We haven't yet spun the wheel to determine the king.
Spun the wheel. We pulled kings out of the hat. Oh boy, that was miserable. But it's only game 2. We got a long way to go.
Unreal.
But we're gonna have fun.
We are gonna have fun. Petey, any final notes from this game?
After again being down early, for them to come back and tie this game, I think was impressive. I think it's easy to drop your hands, drop your shoulders, and give up. I think it's easy. So to continue to play and continue to compete and get back into this game and tie the game in the third period, I think that is a huge stepping stone for this team. Again, I don't think it's a point that's going to flip the script and they're on the way to the playoffs, but it keeps the team going, okay, we know we can do this. And I think once you see you can come back in a game, I think you're more likely to go if you're behind again, you go, hey, we did it before. And I think that as a Coyote fan keeps you interested and engaged if they're competing. So that was exciting for me. I am also really happy for Clayton Keller that it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't think he's back to where he was. I don't think he's up here, but it's coming. It's going the right direction. So that's good. And to hear, keep your eye on it. To hear Jacob Chicken might join the team on this trip is really interesting.
It's really significant for sure. And also, let's not forget that this team is on the road for 6 games. It's the longest season opening road trip this franchise has ever had. It's not even the longest one they're going to have. They're going to go on that 14-game road trip here in a minute. But it's hard to be on the road. It's hard to start on the road. And for the Boston Bruins, that's their home opener.
Yeah.
So we were just at the Arizona State Hockey home opener, and we saw the energy in that building. And obviously, there was a lot of other factors contributing to that. Right. But they're going into a number of home openers, and it's hard to be on the road, let alone be the team like the Coyotes are facing all of those challenges. Shane has appeared in the chat. I'm sorry, Shane. Welcome to Pact Therapy.
Sorry, Shane.
This is Shane is a huge Mariners fan. This is the perfect place for him to come because
we know
it's
what it's like when your
therapy.
team loses.
Everybody cheers your 4 Peaks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome
Cheers
to the
to
Losers Lounge, as they say on. I think they say that on.
Thanks for letting me crash your show yesterday. Shane D.
By the way, if you haven't watched the PHNX Sun Devils post-game show for last night's Sun Devil hockey game, Petey was on there for a hot minute. Unreal. Like, what a lineup of guests.
Unreal.
Absolutely amazing. So if you haven't checked that out,
coaches met.
You didn't even have
players,
to be at the game
faculty.
Or watch it to know to appreciate.
God, did I
show.
feel? Yeah. Do you know Fred McMurray? Anyone? No. Somebody in the chat's got My Three Sons. Nope. 60s, 70s sitcom? No. That's what it was. It's a guy that had 3 sons. That's why they called it My Three Sons. It's kind of how I felt yesterday.
Petey, I'm doing this mainly just to be a dick, but my mom wasn't even born yet that time.
Oh,
but that's what I felt like. That's what I felt.
Oh my god.
It was My Three Sons. I felt it's a little out of my age depth there.
Oh well, it was really great. It was really great. I still see comments about me spilling the pumpkin porter. I promise you though, I got a little on myself and a little on this table, but I did not get it on this chair. That was my biggest concern in that moment. Like everything moved into slow motion in that moment.
That's why I threw it, because I was like, I need to get these paper towels as fast as possible.
On the more furniture.
But you throwing it at me, the risk for more
Karen
spilling.
I'm accurate. Sorry. I knew where I was doing it. I shaded to the right side so it was away from the beer.
Okay, well, I'm not a great catcher, clearly. But the more furniture was saved. I swear nothing got on it because I wanted to preserve these beautiful chairs, which are so comfortable. It's nice, like, if you're watching on YouTube, my feet are up. This is a relaxed atmosphere. So don't worry, Jacob, if you're watching, I did not spill on the more furniture. I promise. And Sean, by the way, has been moving all day long into his new place. You got some furniture in your car right now.
Mm-hmm.
Furnished by Moore.
Yeah, no, I don't want to say I have the best apartment in the greater Phoenix area, but
it's the most Sean statement
best
ever.
Looking. It's the best furnished office
apartment.
Fair
enough. I'll give you that.
Greater Phoenix area.
Although we did decide today during the watch, because it's just the 3 of us here on a Saturday watching the game, we did decide we probably could live in the studio now.
100%. You would just have to go downstairs to the gym to shower and then take your laundry to a laundromat.
But other than that,
this studio, like the
furniture here,
is as big as my apartment.
We could absolutely live here.
You could 100% live here.
Just saying.
So anywho, check out More Furniture if you're looking to spruce up either your home, your office. And they have a fall furniture sale going on right now, morefurniture.com. Plus, you'll receive a $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend, which is an unreal deal. And while you're at it with, furnishing your apartment, once you get your core pieces down, you can start to decorate. And all Arizona sports fans need Arizona merchandise. And the place to get that is FOCO, because they have officially licensed gear for men, women, and kids, and everything from bobbleheads to swimsuits to Crocs. And this week, they have a brand new Cardinals hoodies for all the Cardinals fans out there. Today was hoodies weather. The rain,
hoodies, huh?
Like a Snuggie.
I know what a hoodie is. Like I'm old, but
not
a hoodie.
But no, not a hoodie. Not a hoodie. Hoodies with a Z. EEZ.
Oh, that I don't know.
That's like a Snuggie.
Okay,
you know what a Snuggie is?
Yes, I have Snuggies.
Craig, you have Snuggies too?
Well, yeah.
You and Craig? Can you please wear them on a show one day? Please. Maybe a late night. Maybe like one from home.
I had Snuggies back in the 70s,
Okay.
like when they were real sleeping bag ones with buttons instead of zippers. Buttons. It's a fun
Anywho,
word to say, by the way. Button.
it's the ultimate loungewear. So
I believe it is.
head on over to
Literally didn't know it
foco.com
was a thing.
for
D's
all
with a Z.
12 size, by the way, for all non-presale items. 13. Use the promo code PHNX for 10% off. All right, we have a couple other non-Coyotes things to get to, but they're all related. We last season we updated Tucson Roadrunners scores. They won their season opener last night against, I think, the Henderson Silver Knights, 2-1. Goals scored by Milos Kellerman and Tyson Empey.
Yeah.
I don't know
he's-
Tyson Empey. But today,
McKellen got us first. We talked
He
a
did.
lot about him in training
We
camp,
did.
so that's great. Good for him.
and
Got Coach Potvin his first win of the season. Good.
Yep.
Good on them.
and then unfortunately they lost today 6-2. Goal score. Craig's gonna kill me. It's not Ronald Knott. What? How do you say his name? It's
Clot. I don't know. He's got a very
Knott, assisted by Carcone and D. And then Sebastian D scored the other goal, assisted by Carcone. So 2 assists for Carcone.
Good, and
Yeah.
we'll continue as this goes on too. Leah and I got a chance to go back down the I-10 and talk Tucson Roadrunner hockey. It's something we try to keep our eye on, especially when we're in a rebuild here up in Arizona. It's fun to keep an eye on what's going on down in Tucson.
Yep.
So,
And,
good on them splitting on the road.
And down the highway from us, Colgate and Arizona State, night 2, the second night. Down 1-0 right now
Early,
after 1, but it's still really
Lot of time.
early. There's 2 periods
of time.
left. I'm sure the building will be rallying behind the Sun Devils tonight because it would be great to see them sweep their home opening weekend. And Petey, you were all over the place yesterday.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, not like he was a disaster. He was like physically all over the
Yeah.
place. Because the Doans were there, Shane
Yeah.
Doan, his whole family, but I'll pass it over to you.
No, it's hard, and we talked about this before. If hockey's a small community, and if there's a big hockey event, there's going to be hockey people there, and you just know people. So I knew people, and every 10 feet I go, oh, I know that guy, and knew that guy. So it was a lot of fun. But I did get an opportunity to spend some time with Josh Doan's dad, and that's what we're going to call him for the season. It's Josh Doan's dad. Got to spend some time with him, but more importantly, I'm going to throw in a weekend binge.
Wow. On a
Saturday
post game. Love
Saturday
it.
postgame weekend binge, because not only was Josh Doan's dad there, Josh Doan's sister was in attendance at the game, Gracie Doan. And there's Gracie Doan and Josh's dad at the game last night at the Mullett Arena, just after Josh scored his goal. And Gracie, Josh's sister, starred in a movie that premiered yesterday.
Whew.
Yesterday on Lifetime.
What a day for the Doans.
On Lifetime, the Shoplifting Pact. I haven't watched it yet. I'm not lying here. I actually DVR'd this.
No way.
100% the true story. I have
Love that.
DVR'd this. I am going to watch it tomorrow. Well, probably tomorrow. It's Sunday football, but I am going to watch it. And I was giving Josh Doan's dad a hard time because what do you pick? Do you pick the ASU game or do you pick the premiere of your daughter? And he said, we started watching the movie at home and we had to leave and it's so suspenseful. And if you know your Lifetime movies, they're always suspenseful and there's a lot going on. So I can't wait to get to weekend binge the Shoplifting Pact with Gracie Doan.
Love it. What a weekend.
So dial it in. If you
For
haven't
the
seen,
Doans.
honestly, spend 2 minutes and watch Gracie Doan. I think
2
it's exciting.
minutes.
Well, watch the show. Watch the movie.
He's 2 minutes.
Well, I can CWP might not make it through the whole thing, so watch 2 minutes.
Oh
I don't know if he's a Lifetime movie guy. I don't know. I am. I'm going to watch the movie.
I'm gonna watch it too. 100%.
100% I'm gonna watch
100%. Anything else you want to talk about from yesterday's experience at Mullett? I know we talked about it with Craig. I know you have.
Just go. If you have a chance, if you're a hockey fan in this city and you're thinking, oh, it's too small for the NHL, don't worry about the NHL. Go to a college game there. It's fantastic. They had a live band in the parking lot. There were people outside. It was just everybody's happy. It's a fun atmosphere. And it's a team that's trying to win and make the NCAA tournament.
If you want to watch a
competitive.
team competing to win in Arizona,
It's fun. It's
that's
physical.
where
It's
you're gonna
fast.
find it.
It's a really good brand of hockey. Go. Like, honestly, if you get an opportunity to go to Mullett Arena and watch the ASU Sun Devils play this season, go. Because we've got plenty of former ASU Sun Devil students here that work in the studio, and it's a wagon. Like it's going to be fun, and I guarantee they're going to go not just when they work, but when they can for fun.
I literally said last night as we were leaving, I was like, I need to come back as a fan. Like,
students are going to catch fire on this. They are. I swear, students are going to find out that this is a big deal to get this ticket.
A couple nuggets that I didn't write about in my story, but I just want to mention because they're fun little nuggets. But I spent 10 minutes in the 942 crew, which was I know I keep saying electric, but like that's literally the only word that I can think of to describe it. But I met the 942 leaders, Sutter and Preston. They were awesome. Sutter had a literal mullet, like not a wig.
Like not a wig?
Like his hair was actually a mullet. Couple of cool notes from the 942 crew. So if you've been to an ASU basketball game, you've seen the curtain of distraction. So much like the curtain of distraction, they're doing a thing called penalty killers, where they dress up in like Halloween costumes and try to distract the opposing team when they're on the power play.
Brilliant.
So that, kind of helping out kill the penalty. So that's a fun thing they're doing. The other amazing thing that they're doing is the 942 crew is actually voting on one of the stars of the game. Every game. So every game, the 942 crew is putting out a poll on their Instagram to vote, and the students get to choose
pick
one of the stars of the game.
Brilliant. Involve the students. Brilliant.
Really cool.
It's a hockey family there, I'm telling you.
It is. And also,
it's just a minute away from being a hockey university.
I also met an usher last night who said to me he loves hockey and wants to see games, so he got a job as an usher. Saw both goals last night.
Huh.
Amazing. Not everyone can
Didn't have to buy a ticket. Got paid for it.
Not everyone can get a job as an usher to see the games. But when I go back as a fan, I will be using the Game Time app. Petey bought tickets for his son.
True story.
On the Game Time app. If Petey can use it, so can you.
Yep, I figured it out by myself.
They were cheaper than face value. That is confirmed literally with the ticket office. So if you want to get out to a game at Mullett Arena, they're home again next weekend. Craig's going. Colorado College. So check out Game Time. It's the best place to get last-minute tickets. We also have some Cardinals games this week. So those tickets are available on Game Time. It's cheaper even when you buy them last minute, which makes no sense, but it's true. So check it out. You can save up to 60% when you do buy last minute, and not just for sporting events, but for concerts and shows as well. And the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in our description. So whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening on audio, scroll down to the description, click on that link to buy your tickets, and let us know if you do. And yes, there are Coyotes tickets on Game Time, and I haven't seen them cheaper anywhere else than the Game Time app. So if you are looking to get to a Coyotes game this year, or before the end of 2022, definitely check out the Game Time app. And I know we already kind of plugged it, but check out my story. It's cool. I always plug Craig, but I get to plug myself. Check out my story at gophnx.com. Give it a read while you're there. Become a member, sign up for an annual membership. You can get the shirt that Petey is rocking today. Sean has his Coyote mosaic. I couldn't think of the word for a second. The mosaic, which just got restocked, by the way, and so did the purple Cody shirt. So grab those from the PHNX locker. It's holiday gift season. It's coming quicker than you think, so it's a great place to grab gifts for your friends and family. The PHNX locker, and Craig is just pumping out stories seemingly more than once a day. So last night he was texting me. It was 2:30 in Boston, and he said, just published my story. So like all hours of the night, Craig is writing. So become a member and join our members only Discord, which during games, I know we're here for Pact therapy for after the game, but sometimes you need it during the game, and that is in the Discord. Today we were trying to guess what Craig's middle initial is, S, what his middle name is.
Craig S. Morgan.
We've heard Stanley, Steven, there was another one I couldn't remember. Ooh, Seymour's. Oh, Seamus?
Sigmund?
Sean.
Could you
Sean,
imagine?
Steve.
I would almost be upset if his middle name has been Sean this whole time and he's never said anything.
There's no way. So
continue to put in the S.
And nobody let him know that we're investigating this. Yeah. This is just something we're doing on the side for fun because this is what we have to do to get through the Coyote season.
What is the S in Craig S. Morgan?
Let us know in the Discord. Sean, can we see the upcoming schedule really quick before we head out? Well, It's off to Canada, off to my
It sounds like a
home and
tennis match.
native land.
Doesn't it sound like a tennis match? It's like Wimbledon, 6-2, 6-3, 6-love. Like it's tennis, and he wins the third set. Never mind.
All
Sorry,
right.
no one got that. Somebody got that at hopefully somebody
No,
got that.
I got
6-2,
it.
yeah.
I got it.
So where's their first win, Leah?
I'm still saying Toronto.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't
Toronto
know,
on
man.
Monday, Montreal Thursday, Ottawa Saturday. I'm standing by Toronto. Is there a win at all in that week, or is it coming
I
later?
think Ingram shuts the door on the 22nd in Ottawa.
Shuts the
in a
door
day
as
game.
in like shuts out?
I'm not going to say shut out. He shuts the door.
Okay. I hope
And
Nick
they get the
Schmaltz
first
is
win
back.
on Saturday in Ottawa behind Connor Ingram.
I hope Nick Schmaltz is back for that game because he had unreal success against the Ottawa Senators last season.
Yep.
Anyway, it
That's
will
my
be
win.
it will be very interesting to see what happens. That was my
You're
sigh.
stuck. Yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah.
Silver sign. Yeah.
Anywho, anything else from him?
No, I think let's gear up for Toronto. It's a team that this team plays very well against, home and on the road. They've done really well in that building in Toronto.
Petey 17.
17
This has to be a record for most
This
documented.
might have to be a
Petey says.
record.
in game 217. That seems early.
Somebody.
To be fair,
Okay.
at some point last year, you should stop counting. So,
Yeah,
know what?
there were some times.
Oh,
where we
we're
stopped
counting for me. I've had 3. We should start adding to the upcoming schedule graphic that also has the old scores, like the side counts.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
6-3 loss, 17 size. We should just add it. Love it.
So I'll try to stay hopeful for this game in Toronto,
I'm hopeful.
just based on history. But you look at the two rosters, and it's just on paper, this just does not look like it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, but last year
But
we
either
said
way,
the same thing.
We'll be right here.
We will be right here, right after the game, live on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show. And please go watch the PHNX Sun Devils postgame show from last night. Also, after this
Absolutely do it.
one, it was an amazing show. So do that, and then follow PHNX Sports across all social platforms. You can follow the Instagram, the TikTok, the Facebook.
The Facebook. Sounds like me.
I literally
You got to be on the Facebook.
the Facebook.
Gotta get on that.
Any social media you can think of, PHNX Sports is there. And then, of course, follow us on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. Petey finally danced.
I did.
And now we're on the road to 4,000 followers. We're getting close. Share it with your friends and with your family, with people who are just getting into hockey, people who might be curious about hockey. And before we go, Petey,
It's that time.
it's the time for the
How
punch
far
card.
are we into this season?
Not far.
Sean? Good Lord.
Not far, but it's somehow more fun with
I
stars.
will say this, and this is the second show with the NHL Draft Rewards card. That is absolutely money.
It is
That
money.
is really, really good.
It brings me like the stars. Something about it being stars just
and
makes
it's little
me feel
punch
a little
holes.
bit
Like,
more.
did you notice the
enthusiastic.
punches aren't even centered? Like they're different on the first and second star. Like they're legit
Sean's
punches. Like that's
face.
attention to detail. Wow, I'm impressed.
It is unreal.
That's really,
It's an
really
unreal
good.
graphic, and 2 down, 80 to go. I guess we should just end every show like that.
I
2 down, 80 to go. Well, for now, while I can still count.
you know how far away that is?
It doesn't matter. HK till draft day. We're all in it together. We're here for Pact therapy. We'll get through it. You can follow each of us on Twitter at Leah Merrill, at S Peters Hockey, Craig at Craig S Morgan.
Yep.
The S is a
I
mystery.
saw Sam.
Yeah, and I saw Sullivan as well.
Like,
And you can follow Sean at Sean_DePaz. Yeah, it could be Spencer. Anywho, this has been a lot
that's
of
it.
fun.
It's great. 2 down.
2 down, 80 to go.
0-2, 6 goals a game. Whoops.
Perfect. The tank's looking great. Bedard's looking
Bedard.
even better.
Let's go.
Let's go, LFG. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. We'll be live again Monday after the Leafs game. Until then, we'll see you on Monday.